Friends, welcome to our today's session. In previous few sessions, we are discussing about various components of salary income. We have already understood what is the meaning of salary as per definition, which is given in section 17. I had taken you to section 17, and you have gone through it. You know what are the various components of salary, like salary includes gratuity, pension, all these things you have already seen. And there was one component that is called as profit in lieu of salary. Today, we are going to understand that. What is the meaning of profit in lieu of salary? Then after that, we'll be moving towards allowances. We'll be understanding what are various allowances, whether they're taxable or they're tax free or they're partly taxable, partly tax free. There will be some allowances which are like that also. So all these things we are going to learn. And now let me share the screen with you. So under salary chapter, this is our third session, right? Okay. So our plan is to cover two things today. If time permits, we can also learn a little more. One is profit in lieu of salary and allowances. First, let us see what is the meaning of profit in lieu of salary. But to understand that thing, let me once again take you to section 17(3) clause 2. Let us go there. And for that thing, let me visit to Income Tax Department's website. Hope by now all of you are very comfortable in visiting to the Income Tax Department's website.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm going there now, income tax india.gov.in. You see, this is the home page of, this is the home page of Income Tax Department. And I am interested to show you Income Tax Act, right? Just 1 second. Yeah. So where should I go? Please guide me. I want to read Income Tax Act, section 17.
Tax laws and rules may acts.
Okay, tax laws and rules. I am visiting to this acts. There you can find our list of acts, and I'm clicking here Income Tax Act 1961. Very good. And after that, you see section wise list is there, but here we can directly type section 17. We're interested to section 17, talks about meaning of the top salary. And when I'm searching, I'm finding salary. It defines what is salary, what is perquisites and profits in lieu of salary. Okay. And since we're interested to learn the meaning of profit in lieu of salary, so we have to see this particular provision. You see 17, section 17, subsection 1 talks about salary includes all these items, right? So gratuity, annuity, pension, all these things you have covered. Okay. Now let us go to subsection 2. Subsection 2 talks about perquisites. We'll be learning that. After allowances, we'll be learning perquisites. Now let me take you to subsection 3. Now you see, this is what I wanted to see. Are you able to see? 3 talks about?
Yes, sir. Profits in
lieu
of
salary. Okay. You see what is it in here? Profit in lieu of salary. Just a second. You see, these are the items which form part of profit in lieu of salary. It includes amount of any compensation due or received by associate from his employer or former employer in connection with the termination of his employment or modification of the terms and conditions relating thereto. So this is one item. There you see other items are also there, but I think you'll be able to read it. Now let me take you to my slides. Let us read this particular provision from the slide. Okay. Now, having understood the source, let me show you slides on that. Yeah. If you refer to that provision, you'll be understanding that profit in lieu of salary includes all these things. First of all, it includes, now you see, any compensation due or received from employer or former employer in connection with termination or modification of terms and conditions. That means if an employee's employment is terminated and he is given a compensation, so that will form a part of profit in lieu of salary. Consequently, that will be treated as a salary income. Okay, is it clear? So it may be from the present employer or maybe from past employer. That's what the provision says. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
And in addition to that, not only termination, if the compensation is received for modification of terms and conditions, if terms and conditions become modified, let us say employee job was not transferable, now it is made transferable. So is it a modification to the terms and conditions of employment? Yes or no? Employees whose job was not transferable, it is made transferable now. Do you think it's
Of terms and conditions?
yes, it is a modification of terms and conditions. And because of this thing, let us say a compensation is paid to the employee. That compensation will be treated as profit in lieu of salary, and profit in lieu of salary means it is a salary. Okay, because salary includes profits in lieu of salary. Secondly, you see, now can you read this point number 2?
Any payment due to or received by an assessee from employer or former employer. So there are certain exceptions.
So first of all, you see any payment received by an assessee from employer or former employer. But few exceptions are there. Exceptions one is gratuity. Gratuity we have already covered separately. So gratuity is not profit in lieu of salary. It is a part of salary. Commuted pension. We have discussed all these things. Is it not? Retrenchment compensation. Statutory provident fund or public provident fund. We have not discussed it in the earlier sessions. We'll be discussing it subsequently. Then recognized provident fund to the extent it is exempted under section 10(12). What is this recognized provident fund? What is this exemption things? We'll be learning later. Now, approved superannuation fund. That means some contribution if it is made by employer to the approved superannuation fund or pension fund kind of thing. That also we'll be learning separately. HRA, house rent allowance. It's allowance we'll be learning separately. So except all these things, if any other payment is made by the employer or former employer to the assessee, that will be treated as profit in lieu of salary. Clear? Point number 3. Third point is any payment to unrecognized provident fund or other fund to the extent to which it does not consist of contribution by assessee or interest on such contribution. That means if some contribution is made to the provident fund or similar kind of fund by the employer, who is contributing? Employer is contributing. Okay, but it does not include the contribution made by the assessee. That means employee's own contribution is not profit in lieu of salary, or interest earned thereon. Thereon means interest earned on employee's contribution. That will not form a part of profit in lieu of salary. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
So try to appreciate that when contributions are made to this kind of provident fund, includes normally minimum 4 things. What is that? Employer's contribution, employee's contribution. Okay. Then interest is also earned on employer's contribution, and interest is also earned on employee's contribution. Okay. Now, what it says, what this provision says, that employee's contribution and interest on employee's contribution, these two does not form a part of profit in lieu of salary. but employer's contribution to form a part of profit in lieu of salary. Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, next point number 4. Please read it out.
Some received under KMP insurance policy, including some allocated as bonus.
So, some received a key main insurance policy. Key main means key management personnel insurance policy. So this is a kind of policy which is taken by the company normally for the key management personnel. There might be some important personnel in the company's management, and company depends on them. So if the person leaves the job or the person pass, let's say if they pass away, then company may suffer some losses. So as a protection, company may take some insurance called as key management personnel insurance policy. And the benefit of this policy is that compensation may be received by the company, compensation may be received by the employee himself, or compensation may be received by the employee's legal heir. Okay. So in this situation, what it talks, some received by key management personnel insurance policy. That means if the employee is receiving some compensation from KMP insurance policy, including the bonus allotted under this policy, that will be treated as profit in lieu of salary. Because of this employment, employer has taken a key management insurance policy, and this compensation received by the employee, it will be treated like that. It's a salary. If the compensation received here, it may be pertinent to mention here. If the compensation is received by the legal heir of the assessee, then it is not salary income. It is income from other sources. And if the same compensation is received by the employer, okay, or employer company, so that will be treated as business income. So some received under key man insurance policy, key man personnel insurance policy, can be business income, can be salary, can be income from other sources. There are 3 possibilities. Here it will be salary when it is received by the employee. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So therefore, this key management personnel insurance policy, we have to see that who is receiving it. Is it received by the employee? If it is received by employee, then how it will be taxable, under which head? If it is received by the employee, under which head it will be taxed?
Profits in lieu of salary.
Yes, profit in lieu of salary, that means salary. If it is received by the legal heir of the employee, let us say employee passes away.
Income from other sources.
Income from other sources. And if it is received by the employer?
Salary.
No, employer. Employer, not employee. For employer, it is a business. Okay. Now, point number 6. Any income due or received, whether lump sum or otherwise by assessee from any person before joining employment or after cessation of employment. There is a possibility that an employer might be paying before joining up the employee. So you can say money received from the future employer. That is also profit in lieu of salary. Consequently, that is salary. Similarly, if this kind of compensation which also received after cessation of employment, not compensation, any lump sum, any amount is received after cessation of employment. Employment contract is over. Employee has left the job, but after that also he has received some money from the former employer after cessation of his employment. That is also profit in lieu of salary. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so friends, this was the concept of profit in lieu of salary. Hope this is clear to you. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, friends.